If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
I mean, Pat, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives are up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show?
The morning the scandal broke felt like any other coffee in hand, casually scrolling through the news. But then one name jumped off the screen, Sunny Hostin. And it wasn't because of her usual fiery takes on The View. This time, it was about her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, and the headlines were anything but flattering. Dr. Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon, and his clinic Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine were suddenly at the center of a major storm. The accusations? Insurance fraud, illegal kickbacks, and believe it or not links to a massive RICO lawsuit involving a jaw-dropping 180 defendants. This isn't just another court case, it's a legal blockbuster. But before we get into the twists and turns of this high-profile scandal, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single update. Now, let's unpack it, all legal terms and drama included.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The RICO Act, short for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, was originally designed to take down organized crime. Think mob bosses, gangsters, and shady underworld dealings. But here's the twist. This time, it's not the mafia in the spotlight, it's doctors, surgeons, and medical practices.ef alt text. Now, the courtroom drama feels less like Goodfellas and more like Grey's Anatomy, except with a side of fraud. According to the lawsuit, Dr. Hostin and others are accused of running a scheme to exploit the healthcare system. The allegations? Kickbacks for unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for procedures that may never have even taken place. Imagine this: patients being taken into surgery, insurance companies footing the bill, and behind the scenes, money shifting hands like a high-stakes poker game, only the stakes are your health and taxpayer dollars.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's,
Here's where things really heat up. The lawsuit specifically accuses Dr. Hostin of receiving financial kickbacks for recommending or performing arthroscopic surgeries, those minimally invasive procedures often done on knees or shoulders. On the surface, these surgeries might seem routine and legitimate. But according to the lawsuit, some of them may have been completely unnecessary. So the big question is, were these patients truly in need of surgery, or were they just part of a money-making scheme? If the allegations are true, it would be a stunning betrayal of trust, turning what should be medical care into a business hustle. Forget soap operas, this is real-life drama with much higher stakes. Imagine putting your health in a doctor's hands, only to find out you were being used for profit. That's not just unethical, it's painful in every sense of the word.
It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickback.
But here's the twist on the other side of this case is American Transit Insurance Company Attic, the plaintiff. ATIC claims they were scammed out of millions, alleging they were billed for surgeries that either never happened or were completely unnecessary. Think of it like paying for a prime steak dinner and getting tofu instead. But let's be honest, insurance companies aren't exactly squeaky clean either. They've faced their own share of accusations, underpaying doctors, denying legitimate claims, and using every possible loophole to avoid payouts. So the real question is, are they truly exposing a massive healthcare fraud ring? Or is this a desperate play by a struggling company trying to shift the blame as it teeters on the edge of financial collapse?
According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers.
Dr. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, didn't pull any punches. He slammed the lawsuit as a baseless attempt by ATIC to recover losses, calling it a last-ditch move by a company on the brink of financial collapse. His strategy, classic courtroom defense, shift the spotlight. Instead of defending just his client, Thwaites aimed the blame back at Attic, painting them as the real bad actors in this legal drama. And just like that, the courtroom heat turned up a few more degrees. But the fire didn't stop there. Enter Joe Rogan podcast powerhouse and unapologetic media critic. Rogan didn't hold back. He called out The View for what he saw as blatant hypocrisy, reminding everyone that Sunny Hostin often took a moral high ground on air, criticizing others while allegedly keeping quiet about her husband's questionable dealings. And Rogan wasn't done. He took shots at the show itself, saying it lacked substance and intelligence. If you average out the IQ of The View hosts, he quipped, you might still struggle to hit triple digits.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
Harsh, maybe, but Joe Rogan's fans were loving it. Meanwhile, as Dr. Hostin fights to clear his name in court, his wife Sunny has remained noticeably silent. Usually, she's quick to confront controversy head-on during her time on The View, but when it comes to her husband's scandal radio silence. So, what's behind the quiet? Is she standing by him in private, trying to protect her image? Or simply waiting for legal advice before saying anything at all? Fans are buzzing with speculation. Some think she's staying quiet to keep her reputation intact, while others believe she's keeping a low profile to avoid becoming the next headline. Whatever the reason, her silence is saying a lot. And here's the bigger picture: this isn't just about Dr. Hostin. He's only one of 180 defendants named in this sweeping lawsuit, which also targets other doctors, medical groups, and even hospitals. If these allegations prove true, it could unravel one of the largest medical fraud cases in recent history, a full-blown network of corruption exploiting cracks in the healthcare system for millions of dollars.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit, okay? Now, let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance.
It feels like a heist movie, except instead of robbing banks, the alleged criminals are draining insurance premiums. At the heart of it all lies a much bigger question. How much trust do we really have in our healthcare system when money seems to come before patients? When both doctors and insurance companies start prioritizing profits over people, the entire foundation cracks. Patients should feel safe when they walk into a doctor's office, not like they're stepping into a financial trap. And if a TIC is using this lawsuit as a distraction to cover up its own financial mess, that just adds fuel to an already blazing fire. The whole situation is a tangled web of accusations, and unraveling it won't be easy. As of now, Dr. Hostin hasn't been found guilty. These are still just allegations. But the court battle ahead is shaping up to be explosive, with both sides preparing to go all in. So for now, all we can do is watch and try to sort fact from fiction. Regardless of how this ends for Dr. Hostin, the case is already pulling back the curtain on some uncomfortable truths about both the healthcare and insurance industries. So buckle up, this scandal is far from over, and with every new twist, we'll be right here, popcorn in hand, following the drama as it unfolds. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single update. Catch you in the next one. Peace.